Hi everyone, my name is Arda and today I will introduce you ASP.NET Core from Microsoft. ASP.NET Core is one of the most successful web application development frameworks. It is very popular for a while and gaining more attention because of its high performance and the advantages that it brings. In this presentation, we will learn basics we need to know about what is ASP.NET Core and how to use it. So let's get started. First, we need to understand that .NET and ASP.NET are not the same things. .NET is a software framework or infrastructure which Microsoft developed. It supports various languages and provides an environment for these languages. ASP.NET, on the other hand, is an open source web application framework that is used to build various applications. In other words, ASP.NET is a collection of libraries for building web applications. .NET executes the applications that are built for it. This is the basic difference between .NET and ASP.NET. As I said before, ASP.NET Core is a server-side technology used to create dynamic web pages and build modern web apps on the .NET platform. ASP.NET Core is the redesign of earlier Windows-only versions of ASP.NET. It was first released in June 2016 by Microsoft, then Microsoft released .NET Core 2 in August 2018 and .NET Core 3 in September 2019. With every update, new and extended features are added that help developers deploy highly scalable and high-performance web applications. In November 2020, .NET Core 5 was released, and then .NET 6, which is the latest version, is released in November 2021. .NET 6 has been optimized to offer improved support for many development challenges. So why it was needed? Today's world, we can say that the use of web applications is very popular. Installing desktop applications is no longer preferred as it used to be. Netflix, YouTube, Gmail are examples of popular web applications. As the importance of web applications increases, there is a need to shorten the development processes and implement a specific architecture. Many technologies, tools, and frameworks are available in the market for robust web development services. But such extensive possibilities, there will be confusion about which technology is the best for web development. Choosing the unsuitable technology or framework can result in a waste of time and money. But there is an answer to this question is ASP.NET Core Framework. ASP.NET Core is optimized for modern web applications and cloud-based hosting scenarios. Earlier ASP.NET has been also a huge success with developers worldwide, but ASP.NET Core is an upgraded version with a more modular and cleaner architectural structure. Before the ASP.NET Core, traditional web applications have involved little client-side behavior and have relied on the server for all navigation, queries, and updates the app might need to make. Each new operation made by the user would be translated into a new web request, with the result being a full page reload in the end user's browser. Classic model view controller frameworks typically follow this approach, with each new request corresponding to a different controller action, which in turn would work with a model and return a view. Single-page applications, by contrast, involve very few dynamically generated server-side page loads. Many single-page applications are initialized within a static HTML file that loads the necessary JavaScript libraries to start and run the app. These apps make heavy usage of web APIs for their data needs and can provide much richer user experiences. ASP.NET Core supports both MVC and Web APIs in the same application using the same set of tools and underlying framework libraries. ASP.NET Core is designed to provide these benefits to the developers. Cross-platform. It means can run on Linux, macOS, and Windows. This capability opens up many new options for both the development and deployment of apps built with ASP.NET Core. Also, it is open source and community focused. It provides integration of modern client-side frameworks like Blazor, React, etc. ASP.NET Core also supports dependency injection both internally and the application level. Interfaces can have multiple implementations that can be swapped out as needed. Dependency injection allows apps to loosely couple to those interfaces rather than specific implementations, making them easier to extend, maintain, and test. It allows building a cloud-ready environment-based configuration system. ASP.NET Core applications supports also unit testing, and their loose coupling and support for dependency injection make it easy to swap infrastructure concerns with fake implementations for test purposes. To proceed with ASP.NET Core, you should have some required skills. First, you should have some basic knowledge of C#, JavaScript, and HTML languages. Then you should have some knowledge about ASP.NET MVC framework. This is a framework developed by Microsoft to add Model View Controller pattern to ASP.NET. Along with this, you must have a good knowledge of object-oriented programming concepts and some experiences in web development and databases. So how can you install it? There are two things we need to install before we can develop web applications with ASP.NET Core. The first is the .NET Core SDK, and the other thing we need is Visual Studio 2022. We can download .NET 6 for any operating system we want from Microsoft's own website. When your download completes, run the installer and complete the steps to install .NET on your machine. Once you will install .NET Core SDK, the ASP.NET Core will get installed automatically. When the installer completes, open a new command prompt and run the .NET command. If you don't see any error message, then this will verify .NET is correctly installed and ready to use. Then we download Visual Studio, which is suitable for our operating system, from Microsoft's website. After the download is complete, we open the Visual Studio installer and make sure you have selected the ASP.NET and web development workload before starting the installation. Now that we have set up, we can create our first web application with ASP.NET Core. So let's start creating our first Hello World web application now. I open Visual Studio and click Create a new project. From here, I will choose ASP.NET Core Web App. This is a web application that uses Razor web pages. Also, here we have ASP.NET Core Web App Model View Controller project. Although these are different types of projects, they can be used in conjunction with each other. So even if I choose MVC project, it can contain Razor page, or if I choose web application, I can still put MVC in it. I will choose this for now for simplicity, and I will give a project name. Let's say Hello World. Then you can choose a previous .NET Core SDK version if you want to run on it. I will choose .NET 6, which is the latest version, and click the Create button. So this is our basic template. It has very clean and simple structure. First of all, let's look at the page folder. Page folder contains some Razor pages and supporting files, as you can see. Files which has CSHTML extension are Razor pages. They are a newer, simplified web application programming model. Razor pages have an associated C# object called the page model, which holds each page behavior. It has C# code that handles page events. Additionally, each page works on the limited semantics of HTML, only supporting get and post methods. Supporting files have names that begin with an underscore. For example, the underscore layout.cshtml file configures UI elements common to all pages. www.root folder contains static assets like HTML file, CSS file, JavaScript file. AppSettings.json contains configuration data like connection strings. And finally, program.cs file creates a web application builder with pre-configured defaults. Now I will launch the app without the debugging. Visual Studio will run the app and open the index web page on the default browser. The address bar shows localhost 7135 port number. Localhost is the standard hostname for your local computer, and port number, when Visual Studio creates a web project, a random port is used for the web server. So we have built and run our first .NET web application. Thank you for watching my presentation.